Hi, it's Heather Steves here, and today I want to share a layout that I made based on a pattern from the Make It From Your Heart Volume 3 book. So in preparation for this video, I pre-cut all of my papers and I mounted all of my photos onto photo mats. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and attach everything. So since I'm using Vellum, I'm being very strategic where I place my adhesive. So you can see I've just added 2 strips of adhesive on the back there, and then that area I know is going to be covered up with other paper. So I'm using my mat that I have to line up my papers with the grid there, and then I've got my T-square here, and I'm going to use it just to make sure that I get this next piece on nice and straight. And then you see I'm going to add this zip strip, and I find it easier when I flip the page over so I can make sure that I push it nice and tight to that other piece. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this other page, but I decided that it's actually easier not to use the T-square. So I'm just going to line it up right beside the other page, and then that way I can make sure that my 2 pages are aligned exactly the same. So now I'm ready to start to add my photos to the layout, and I'm just kind of playing around with the placement because I want to make sure that everything is balanced nicely. So you can see here I've got like this really bright red photo, and then I've got the printout of the ticket that's white. So I want to make sure that as I attach these that everything is balanced and that your eye flows through the page nicely. So I decided to use this gray pattern paper for my title, and I had this sticker from the sticker sheet that coordinates with the paper pack. So I'm just kind of putting that on there as a placeholder. I know that it's not completed, but I'm just going to use it so that I can get everything in place and lined up here. You can see that I'm using my grid ruler. So this is a close to my heart ruler, but unfortunately they no longer carry this. I think probably because the lines actually wear off after a while. So lots of other companies do have these similar rulers, and so I just find it really helpful for getting everything lined up on my page and making sure that things are nice and square and spaced evenly. So now I want to finish decorating, embellishing this title piece, and so I had this little bit of leftover sticker. So this was a border sticker, and of course they let the ink bleed over, so you've got these little edges here, and I had saved them, so I ended up adding them to this piece of paper, and it just gives a little bit more definition to it. And then I really like the idea of this camera, because these photos kind of were these weird digital images that were in this event that we attended, but it still looks a little bit plain. So I found another sticker on the sticker sheet, and I'm putting that little leaf under there, and it just adds a little bit more interest so that my title is just kind of more complete. Now I still have some of that little sticker left over, so I'm going to carry that over to my journal spot, so that kind of ties things together and it provides some consistency throughout my layout. So I wanted to add a little bit more embellishment to the journal spot, so I found this little bicycle sticker, and even though it doesn't really go with the theme, it's cute, so I'm adding a little bit of foam dots on there just to pop that up. But you'll notice with my placement, initially I held it on the right side of the journal there, but actually I end up putting it on the left side, and the reason for that is because it's a bicycle, it has motion. One thing that I learned in art school is when you're doing things like that when there's motion, it's more appealing to have space on the side of it that it would be moving to. So now that I have everything in place on my layout, I'm just going back and I'm adding some adhesive underneath those photos just to help to keep that vellum stuck down just a little bit better. So now I'm taking a little bit of inspiration from one of the samples in the pattern book, and I want to add some faux stitching around the layout. So I've pulled out my Precious Metals metallic markers. They're from Spectrum Noir. They are in the Close to My Heart product grouping, and I'm just testing out these different colors to figure out which one might look the best. So I thought that the metallic would be kind of a neat little touch, and I just wanted something that would stand out enough on that dark cardstock. So anyway, I'm kind of just playing around with it, and then I end up deciding that I'm going to go ahead and use the pewter one. So I'm just going to zoom in here so you can see a little bit better. Again, using my grid ruler so I can make sure that I'm nice and straight, and I'm just putting in some little dashed lines. I'm not measuring them with the ruler, I'm just kind of putting down what I feel is going to look good. So now that I finished my faux stitching, I forgot to zoom my camera back out, but I'll just kind of talk you through a little bit here. I decided to do something different with the vellum, and I got out a baby wipe and I decided to wet the edges. I thought it might curl. It didn't really. I ran out of patience. I used my heat tool and that kind of overdid it. So then I took my bone folder and tried to flatten it back out again. And even that didn't really work that great. But anyway, I moved on from that. I did some embellishing. You can't really see most of it, but you can see a couple of these little hearts that I die cut out, and I've added those and a couple of other little tabs there. And then now you can see it finished. You can see the mess of the vellum, but I just went with it. So here's a few close-ups, and then at the end you'll see how it looks so much better once it's in the page protector. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and ring that bell so you'll get notified of more videos. Have a great day.